620 or whatever, you can go live on any of those.
Oh, okay. That's what I was worried about.
Yeah.
So like on the,
And then you take, once the YouTube screen comes up, you're gonna click share,
Mhm.
copy that link and take that into Thrill Share. If we take that one there, and just hit copy. And then you can actually close out of that window altogether. And that's when you paste that link in there. How we doing?
just right here.
Yeah.
I had my blinker on to go left, and I'm sitting there looking, waiting and waiting and waiting, and I went, shoot. It dawned on me.
Oh, yeah.
Do I just publish now?
Yes, yep. And then the other thing you gotta do is, oh.
I think I put you
didn't set up
that
yet.
one. You want to sign a couple?
If you just open
The
up.
other one you've already
email,
signed, so.
Just leave that email open
That's
too, because
just-
I
that's
think
all right there.
there's at least one presentation tonight that should be in your.
I'll
in
let you
the-
find.
Go to Gmail.
Oh,
You should always bring a pen anyways, you never know what it's gonna.
And then.
But you've signed the other one, so I can't have you
Yep, so
sign that.
Charlie's is in there. But the first thing you can
Did a
do,
good
if you just go to compose
A great weekend. We had so much fun.
and
And
then.
customs was so
Just
easy.
send it to me and then I'll have to send
they
it
got
on, 'cause
changed
I
that.
gotta add that. master
We came
user to the
through.
all group.
Well, and
Just
candidate
basically
was just like the
there.
basics, like where you going,
What's that?
where you staying.
How long?
Here in a second.
Have you got any alcohol? Do you have any firearms? Do you have any drugs? Any marijuana? Okay, have a good time.
But yeah, okay, I got a whole trunk full.
Yeah. And then coming back, it was, where you been? Why'd you go? Where do you live? Okay.
Wow.
I was like, we went through customs so fast coming home. I was like,
Did they ask for any identification
did.
at all?
well, we just had to show, we had to show our passports, huh? Good. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You leave lonely. Even now.
That's the
quiet side. All right, I'm gonna welcome everyone and I'll start with audience introduction with Charles.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoying his, Brian, go first.
Brian King, Technology Director. Charlie Swan, Principal at DEF.
Healing, then again, I teach seventh and eighth grade here at the school.
Lucas Johnston, Ed Tech 3, Gary Golden People.
Ellen Greengrace, here alumni. We're teaching there, alumni.
Thank you. Adjustments to the agenda, we do have adjustments. There's no. Let's have a motion to follow, oh, wait a minute. What's the motion to add the following? Okay, it didn't, wait. Okay, that's all right, can I get a motion?
So moved.
And a second? That was Bruce and Julie. Comments, questions? All those in favor? Thank you. All right. Consideration of the minutes, the September 23rd, 2025 board meeting. Could I get a motion, please? And a second? For comments, questions, revisions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Non-voting, one non-voting, Julie, thank you. Minutes of the October 21st, 2020. Oh, geez, and year. October 6th, 2025 board meeting. Could I get a motion, please?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Comments, questions? All those in favor? Thank you.
I was gonna be comment.
Oh, go ahead.
That's why I raised my hand. I just wanna share with the board that you'll notice that in those that I just put Aaron and initials, because I was concerned by putting yes attendance that would indicate this is what we're talking about. Yeah, I just want to clarify, that's why names are not listed.
Thank you. Okay, I'll do all those in favor. Opposed, non-voting. Two non-voting, Bruce and Matt. Okey dokey. All right, one more, right?
Yes.
Boy, we were a minute. Okay. Minutes of the October 21st, 2025 special board meeting. Could I get a motion, please?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Comments, questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed, non-voting, Natalie? Okay, and all our minutes. All right, this is the time the public can talk. We will be respectful. We do have timeline. Is anyone going to speak? Seeing none? Communication?
Just want to, if no official communications, but the full board did receive two emails. One was from Brandy Bordeaux, questions and concerns around using Darrell High School for a field voting. And he received the second one from Ellen Wainwright with support of the former Bill Hospital.
Hey, old business. Bruce, Daphne?
We had our first of the month meeting. I know it's, we get to this month that we're doing it because we didn't have a meeting the first Tuesday of this month. We met, the finance committee is working on with the teachers and discussing the new salary scale. It's an ongoing thing. We've had a couple of meetings. Most of it is just trying to nail down how we're gonna move forward with the teacher scale. The rest of the committees that so far have not been meeting. On our staff report we had was Dave Berkey put on gave us a little bit of a handout of how the adult education program is going. He's now looking at having a new grant funding for around $32,000 used to assist in staffing and technology. We had the student service report, we found that as of October 1st, this is our enrollment number that we can go by. We again are higher than what we've ever seen before, we're at 279. All of our programs are doing well, we have no program that we're even thinking of not keeping because we have too many students filling up the program, so it's a good feeling, but, we did figure out that we do have a move problem. So, believe it or not, we can make things move. The superintendents did meet as they do each month, and they had a good meeting. They talked about different special education, they talked about busing issues. They talked about, RSU 10s having their half days on Fridays. So everyone is trying to work together to make everything work along. That was major thing. The last thing that we did that day is we went into the executive session, discuss some business issues that we have. So, we're still moving forward with everything. Update, our buildings, of course, are still completed, but are not being used yet. We're still in ongoing to see if that issue is gonna be solved. So as soon as we can figure out something that's going to work for us, then we'll be able to move forward. We did approve the revised 2025 Region 9 cooperative agreement. So that is all taken care of from our end of everything. We had our instructor for our automotive program. He has now been recognized to be a nationally accredited, so it's not pay scale, so it shows that even our instructors are doing their continuing education and learning more and more to move forward and offer more for our students. That's pretty well.
Bruce, did they move downtown yet, adult ed?
There's nothing down here that I know of yet.
Okay, yes, okay. Thank you.
Last thing I want to say is our Halloween walk is October 29th.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, new business, please.
We have a couple of things that I just.
Kelly is newly certified as a teacher.
Before I start, to tell you why I'm here, so I'm just gonna give you a couple of postcards so you guys read while I tell you what's going on or what I'm asking for. Some of my students wrote those, and then this feature is part of an integrated haunted house project that we did. This is a map of trolley location if we're approved to go. Museum information right here. Pass me this way. Be careful. Yeah.
Brian's got a lot going.
I do have the papers, like a copy of the student packet of what they would do for the haunted house integrated project. And I also have a list of some of the standards that they could meet. And I have the teacher packet if they're interested in looking at it. And this is the book that we read. Or are reading. We haven't finished that. All right. Good evening. I'm here tonight to respectfully request a permission to bring an alternative education for high school students in a field trip to Salem, Massachusetts on November 14th. Or when we have the funds to do so. This trip will provide. Well,
We don't have any.
We're deaf.
we're old.
And deaf.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Closer.
I'm deaf too. Okay, do you want me to start over or are you good?
Please.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm here tonight to respectfully request permission to bring my alternative education high school students on a field trip to Salem, Massachusetts on November 14th or when we have enough funds to do so. We're currently working on that and I'll explain in a minute. This trip will provide 10 students with a unique opportunity to experience history in an engaging and memorable way, connecting directly to our integrated curriculum. There will be one other chaperone, a bus driver, and myself to accompany our students. The Salem Witch Trials remain one of the most significant events in early American history, offering lessons in government, justice, human rights, and critical thinking. Visiting the Salem Witch Museum and another historical site, if we have the funds to do so, will allow our students to move beyond textbooks and connect to the past through immersive hands-on learning. This kind of experiential education is especially meaningful for alternative education students who thrive when learning is active, engaging, and relevant. They know why they're learning, why they're studying it. For many of these students, this trip will represent more than an academic experience. A number of them have never traveled outside of Oxford County, let alone the state of Maine. The opportunity to explore a historic city, eat a meal in a new place, see firsthand the sites that they have studied in class will be both eye-opening and inspiring. It is an experience that will enrich their learning while also creating lifelong memories. We plan to use the small bus for transportation. The cost of the bus is approximately $1,300. I've already spoke with Kenny. And we have already begun fundraising efforts to cover the balance after applying available budget and grant support. Our students are also preparing and selling lunches to staff members, building responsibility and community involvement as they work toward their goal. This process has become an extension of their learning experience, teaching teamwork, planning, and accountability. To help reduce the cost and save time, we plan to prepare food such as sandwiches or wraps along with drinks and snacks to bring the cooler for dinner on the ride home. We plan to depart from Miracle High School at the very beginning, the start of the day after attendance. Visit the Salem Witch Museum, possibly a second historical site. I had written that before, but if we could afford to do the trolley, that actually goes to 11 different places, and we'd have an opportunity to see probably more than one of the historical sites. A lot of it would be walking to, which is kind of nice, but so we'd be home that evening and not spend the night. I really don't know what time. I thought 7, 8 o'clock, but then when I started adding, really depends on if we did the trolley, if we did walking, but we would be home that evening. This trip will enrich our students' understanding of history, culture, and civic responsibility while fostering personal growth. It will also provide them with an opportunity to expand their horizons beyond their community in a way that is meaningful, memorable, and education. Additionally, our alternative education students have recently completed an integrated haunted house project, which tied together multiple subjects, including history, English, art, and math. The project explored themes of fear, storytelling, and community while encouraging creativity, collaboration, and critical thinking. The Salem trip naturally builds on that experience, allowing students to connect their classroom learning to real-world history and deepen their understanding through direct exploration. Thank you for considering this class, and if you have any questions that we have.
I want to make a motion.
Who said it? Yeah, and we have a motion by Brad and second by Liz.
So, fundraising is a target, we need to get,
Oh,
for the
I got
fair,
that too.
what do you need to hit for the trolley, where are you guys at so far?
Okay. So with 10 students, 2 chaperones and a bus driver, transportation 1,300. The Salem Witch Museum total would be $157.50, so we'll just say $158. The Salem trolley for all of us would be $325. Food, we kind of voted and chose on the Witch's Tavern because it was roughly under $20 per meal with average 18, and then drinks for 4. So that came to 400 with a gratuity. So everything, bus, museum, trolley and lunch comes to a total of $2,182. We are a little more than halfway there. Without the Salem trolley, we would, the total is $1,857.50. And we would need $738 to go, which actually would be less than that because we sort of moved it. My students have worked extremely hard. They put their hearts and souls into this. They've been preparing food for staff. And we've been selling out, so they haven't even been able to sample the food that they've been putting in. They're really excited for this opportunity and I would be honored to take them on this trip.
Chris, you said transportation was 1,300. Why? What's the price of, why is $1,300?
So I don't, well, approximately $1,300. I don't remember what it is per mile. I did all of that.
Calculated per mile, plus it'd be overtime, this is the rest of it down there, but again, this was not a budgeted request, so it's not in the current regular budget, because this is beyond what
That was
was budgeted for.
spur of the moment. Yeah. And I looked at other alternatives for transportation. It would cost us more money to take 2 vans. I'm not comfortable driving to Salem, Mass. I have vision issues and stuff. The bus holds adequate amount of space for the chaperones and all of our students. I did look into like buses and other organizations, and even with their discounts, they were more money. And my kids, they're not too much worried about what can take or going to.
My follow-up question to that is that, timeline's creeping up pretty fast. We still have a significant difference between whichever one you're going to go with.
Yep.
What you do if you get to the timeline and you don't have raised the appropriate money.
Well, that's why I'm asking for permission for November 14th, if we can meet that deadline with our budget and stuff. If not, I would request that we could do it at a later date or possibly need to bond the money.
So your request is just to request a trip, but not a specific nailed down date, but we would need that down so that we would know what to do for a bus. How much,
We really only need about a week lead time on the bus.
okay,
We are aiming for November 14th. We have been working extremely hard. I have faith that we can do it. And if not, I think that it will be minimal, the difference. And
I'm all for it,
I actually.
I'm hoping this all works, because it all sounds great. I think it's a really good opportunity. I just wanna make sure that all the ducks in the right row, so that you don't get crunched and all of a sudden day comes and we can't do it. So I'm hoping, I like the idea that if it doesn't happen up, you may be postponing it for a week or after Thanksgiving, whatever, if you have to do it.
Yeah,
You know,
we
but
would be happy with that.
it would be fine. I like the idea as long as we're not married to a certain date.
Okay. So we'd like to aim for the 14th, but we would be very open to a later date when we have.
So you're fundraising, but would you take donations?
Absolutely. But I would have to put in, I think, a request.
Say what?
I think I would have to put in, I do
You
not
have
have.
to put in a request.
Yes.
If you're
I'm just saying.
Yes, we would
If people
happily
wanted to
take
donate,
donations.
that's okay.
Just say yes to that.
Yeah. Some of the other things that the kids are doing for fundraising too are, well, we thought about doing a paint tape, but that's off the table right now. But, doing crafting things, like I have 2 students that are doing wood carving birds. We've been doing diamond art posters, macrame wall hangings. Brad,
I haven't seen a good old fashioned bottle drive in a long. You
A
know,
what?
fast people will give up their bottle.
Bottle drive.
bottle jars.
Saturday
Well,
morning.
I brought the postcards from some of my students that I saw today that unfortunately they couldn't come, and then the others I did not see today, but, that's it.
Yeah, I just wanna say, you can walk to the cemetery, and the cemetery's cool, and they have the lineup of each person that was executed, and they have them. So that's really cool. You can actually walk down to the water. House of Green Gables, you pay in, but, there's a lot to really see. So walking, and
Right.
trolleys off.
Right, and we're not opposed, I mean, if we didn't do the trolley thing, that's fine, that was like a last minute thing that popped up actually today. We're happy to go to the museum, and a lot of the things that you
Yeah.
go
instead,
tour
we
and
go to the
see, you
cemetery
can't go
right to
inside,
the-
so
yeah.
I think would be good,
And see the Bewitched statue.
yeah, yep. Yep.
Which kids probably don't even know who Bewitched is. Yes, we do. Any other comments or questions? Good for you.
Good job.
Thank you.
All in
Thank you.
favor? Thank you.
Awesome, thank you guys so much, appreciate it,
It's a good time to go after October,
yes.
so it should be a little quiet.
I think Mrs.
Oh, but
Boylan
no,
was
she
not-
and she wants to go in October. I said,
Oh,
"Sorry,
mother.
because it is. I said, if you could go in November, I could get behind you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, I got your. What? I'm here. Oh. All right, discussion about Dixfield voting at DHS and the board motion fee.
Okay, so.
You,
Yeah, it is deep. So if you recall, a number of years ago, the town of Dixfield lost the Legion as their place for voting. They approached me at the time and principal and superintendent about voting at their high school. People with the neighbor, we made that work. It's relatively smooth and easy because we can lock off the wing by the gym, so people come in, they have no access to the rest of the school. I mean, obviously we have kids there, and sometimes kids open doors, you know, but it's been pretty smooth. In the last couple of years, it might have come to your attention that in other polling areas across the country, things have gotten a little escalated. So there was conversations last year about like, the state put out something about if you poll with your school, with the voting place, you should be taking the procedure or consider a remote day. So anyway, the administrative team talked about it, and we thought, well, if we're having a year where there's contentious items on the voting thing, then maybe that would be a year to go remote. Didn't really think this year was particularly contentious, so we weren't thinking going remote this year, but we have had a few, parents ask about it, so I thought it would behoove us to at least come to the board and talk about like this process. A couple of parents have said that I should probably tell kids that they need to find a new place. I just feel like, you know, we're a small community, we don't have a lot of big places. It kind of works, and anyway, I just felt like the board should weigh in on it because this decision was made, and I just wanna help you.
Brad,
Yeah, I saw the email. And, I'm not sure I share the same opinion. Contentious or not contentiousness, I don't know what's so contentious. Voter ID, I think that's just contentious, I can think of. I think that it's worked out really well. I think the bigger problem I would have with going to vote is that puts parents at home. And that puts parents at extra expense.
We just need a high school, to be clear.
Right, and so we feel all the kids, but I just don't think that we need to convenience taxpayers anymore. I think that people voting in this town, that's okay for us. It's not unreasonable that they could use the school. I totally agree, lock down the doors, just be cautious about that. But I just don't see a reason why we should upset the apple cart or something. That's been, like you said, pretty smooth.
And we do have an SRO now, the police station independently, and that's something. ongoing base now, because that's become more level of.
That the building is next year. And we can get our school district, and I think it's a service to the community. We've got law enforcement presence there, so if there was an issue, I think we're taking reasonable precautions. Obviously, if there was something leading up to election that seemed like it could be really contentious, or that there might be issues, we could make a decision otherwise, but at this point, I don't know.
So, some consensus on.
Yeah.
And we can get locked in this, the kids, those who music.
Is the SCC locked down as well?
Yeah, so we lock the doors going into the SDC, so from that, make that all the way up by the gym, you cannot access the SDC or the main portion of the building, those doors are locked. As the former principal, I will tell you on voting day, I check those doors frequently, because from the kids' side, obviously they can open, and they have to be able to, or a fire exit, so we just have to keep an eye and keep checking them, that kids don't inadvertently open them and leave them open. We put signs up, we put folks and come down, kitchen vendors sort of being pretty good about it, but,
We can have a resource officer in that week for that day.
that was our plan, is to have him in that way, kind of in that hallway and keep an eye on things. But I will tell you, in my 5 years there, we did it like 3 or 4 years, I think, and it's not like a lot of people coming in and out. It's a
Pretty quiet.
quiet, slow trickle. It's not, it has not been like, well,
Not a big deal.
and then the bigger turnout is after cloud, you know, like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. And people do. I did want the board aware of it, because we heard enough that we, if I could at least come here, so you can understand it. So, an offer that came up and I accepted when I was superintendent, but I thought I should do it. And I looked at like the neighbors, and we worked together, and
We think of these buildings are built for the people, by the people, and for this community, so I feel it's part of the community to be able to use it, and something that's voting is right.
All right.
And we're doing everything secure and everything proper.
I just wanted to, I did something with you before we go in front of you.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Second reading of policy BEB, board member use of social media. Could I get a motion, please? And second, this had gone to us, I can't even remember, back in January, and it was sent back to the policy committee. And we reviewed it, and there was only one place where, instead of an opinion, it's, you haven't made a decision. So that changed the wording, meaning you're not posting your decision on voting. So,
Haven't come to a conclusion.
conclusion, yes. So, that was the only change we did. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you. All right. First reading of revision of policy GCFD, recruiting and hiring of administrative staff. Could I have a motion, please? And second?
Second.
I found we had done some revisions on wording that needed to go back to 2020. And we also did some reversion of, there was wording that's and nowhere else. And we go, why is it here and nowhere else? So you can see what we crossed out. Okay, so any questions or comments on that? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you. Okay. DJH. First reading of policy purchasing and contracting procurement staff code of conduct. Could I get a motion, please? And second?
Second.
This just, we had a audit the special education. And Pam goes, you need to look at your policies. So I said, oh, goodness, special ed policies. No, they just wanted the money. So, there was just a couple wording, conflict of interest, officers and agents. That was the only changes to our current policy. Any questions on that? Being none, all those in favor? Thank you. Okay. Another policy, the first reading of policy and school property disposition, disposition. Disposing of it. All right, can I get a motion, please? And the second. The same reasoning, this is one they wanted us to look over, and we did. Put in the language that they recommended about under federal grants, how we dispose of equipment. So they were pretty firm on this. Any comments or questions on this one? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you. There. Board member comments. I'll start, Kelly mentioned the Halloween, what was it called, the haunted? I don't do haunted.
It was separate from what they did. They
Oh, they
haunted
did
walk.
something? Oh,
They did a haunted walk through the high school that two classes were on as a
Oh.
fundraiser.
Oh.
That they earned over $2,000.
and they had to turn away people.
It was incredible.
I will, and they had a different level.
For a couple times, it was amazing.
And all I can say is Kitty Houghton is a rock star. I never seen anyone who organizes anything. she does.
And stuff, was that? It was open to the public. I didn't hear about it. Right, I brought, yeah, yeah, I would have come to that, sorry.
Yeah, it was, I don't
That's
quite think that.
Yeah, so that was a good community involvement in getting the schools. We tried it years ago at Halloween, and then COVID, blah, 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 happened. So that was, that's my fault. Anybody else's comment? No one was fought, but. Cool. All right. Superintendent report.
I'll start by saying I did, simply last night, I attended the national performance for the advancement of rural education in Salt Lake City. Reminder that was paid for by the Western Union State collaborating full, so no taxpayer money from here. The sessions were highly informative. I attended sessions around recruiting and retaining teachers in rural areas. It was really well done. Supporting culture in rural schools and extended strategies that improve successful in other rural schools. I think a lot of things about their working here and use. I also attended the annual MSFA conference last Wednesday in Augusta, as well as the MSMA conference on Thursday and Friday in Augusta. I will tell you, it's really hard to be out of the buildings that many days over 2 weeks. I told Mary, "Don't let me do this again," because I don't know how to avoid it because I just have to find the money. But at the Augusta one, I selected sessions that were provided by various law firms because it's cheaper for me to go to those sessions and ask my questions than to call them on the phone and get billed it for hours. So that's what I always do. I attended sessions on discipline and performance reviews of staff, including free exercise rights under the First Amendment, navigating the conflict between the Maine Human Rights Act and the federal government at this current time, effective advocacy, and more. The keynote speaker, Dr. Joe Sansolico, was outstanding. His message was about meeting who you are. You did an job. Barbara White. Say some of those things too, but did she attend a lot of sessions too? I spent yesterday and today at the Darragh Middle School, and it is always like highlight of my job is to be able to be in schools. I did have to call Brian to come in for the afternoon today, because I was able to look at my past off, and there's no way I was gonna miss that opportunity. Since I last reported, I also spent a couple of days at the high school, unfortunately, and missed. I able to get an elementary school by the conferences, but I look forward to getting in there for school. And it really helps me as a superintendent to get that really on the ground feeling when you spend a whole day there. It's different than the walking through. It gives me an opportunity to feel like I understand what happens on a day-to-day basis. And I'm gonna go through the reporting of new hires as Charlie prepares to get ready for his report. I will tell you that Jason was at a conference today in Boston and just was not gonna make it back in time for this, so we will put him in next.
If he's doing it rush now,
And we have some new hires. Crystal O'Connor is coming in as the nutrition worker 4 hours a day at the school. Mackenzie Barnett is the nutrition worker 4 hours a day at the elementary school. We have Caitlin O'Connor coming on as our DHS Ecology Club advisor. Jim Himalayan is coming on as the drumline pet band advisor. We have sports to announce that Jericho High School had wrestling for this winter will be Dayton Whittemore. Assistant wrestling will be Bryce Whittemore. Boys varsity basketball will be Toby St. Germain. And girls varsity basketball will be Randy Parenteau. Middle school head wrestling Bryce Whittemore, assistant wrestling John Bradbury, girls varsity basketball Kathy Crutchfield, girls assistant basketball Amy Jason, and boys varsity basketball Debbie Cooney. I realize when I'm saying that I didn't have to announce Kobe's this year because it's been doing it for 5 years and the new contract says that they don't have to reapply, but probably you can hear from me. It is now up to you, Dennis.
All right, thank
oh,
you.
then turn around.
If you wanna, I mean, if you wanna hear my sweet voice only, but you can say. So, lots been going on at Derigo Elementary School in the first 2 months of school. It's always a busy time. I'm gonna, before I start, say that, when you start a new year and you have a lot of new staff, sometimes you kind of worry about that, but we have fantastic new staff at our school. They have been, jumping right in, doing fantastic work and, really working in some places with some really tricky students that are new to us. And, it's been really awesome to have them in the building and doing what they do. So this is our mission statement. This hasn't changed for about 12 years. Derigo Elementary School prepares all of our students to be safe, respectful, and responsible citizens who are motivated to be lifelong learners. So that's our filter. If you've done an interview with me, you know that I use that on our interviews. But that's kind of where we start our discussions on our leadership team meetings, and it's kind of the core of what we make decisions on. So this year, and you can click a few times there, Dan, because there's a few of them. I'll tell you, there are 6. There you go. So this year's theme is, I don't know if you've seen Finding Nemo and the seagulls. Fine. Yeah, so fine. So, yeah, so that we use that as our theme, maximizing impact through nurturing engagement. So the district was focusing on attendance, rigor, and engagement. So I use this as kind of our springboard away from that and kind of into the idea of engagement. And we really talked about at our opening workshop and then a little bit at our October workshop about these 6 things. That this means taking ownership of our students, making every minute count in our day, seeing differentiation as a lifeline for students, not a complicated task for us, constantly communicating the importance of being present, understanding that rigor is about pushing our students to excel instead of trapping them in mediocrity, and being the teacher, educator that you enjoyed as a kid. So those are the kind of the statements that we said to kind of bring this theme for the year alive. So the leadership team at DES is in the process of creating a school improvement plan. We have a school improvement plan that we're required by the state to have, but this is kind of an actual one that we can actually use, not a complicated one that sits in a binder somewhere. So what we've been doing is looking at the 9 characteristics of effective schools. This is kind of dated research at this time, came out of the state of Washington. When I first started at the school about 3 years in, we started with this and did a lot of surveys with the staff and even some parent surveys and different things to get some input. This latest round, we're working exclusively with the leadership team in creating our improvement plan, but it's based on evaluating ourselves on these 9 things, having a clear and shared focus, high standards and expectations for all students, effective school leadership, high levels of communication and collaboration. Number 5 is curriculum instruction and assessment aligned with standards. Number 6, frequent monitoring of learning and teaching, focused professional development, supportive learning environment, and high levels of family and community involvement. And what's neat is when we first started this, some of them that scored really low have improved on as far as our own kind of internal scoring of them. And some of them that we had high in the past have kind of slipped some. So we bring this kind of back every 3 years, just to kind of reassess ourselves with this.
And our goal here with the leadership team is to make a comprehensive plan to guide us for the next 5 to 7 years as far as how we want to kind of tackle some of these areas that we scored lower on. Right.
Via tier something,
Yes, tier 2.
tier two.
Yeah.
That's what six things, but we ain't gonna do. Cause
Yes.
when I was at.
Yeah, you're not naughty enough to get the money, but
Yeah,
yeah.
because I was at a golf and in front of me at one of the meetings was a member of the Board of Education, State Board.
Yeah.
And he's like, what is this gonna do with this test scores? So I raised my hand and go, well, if they would leave the test proposals for a year or two, maybe we could have some data.
That would help, yep.
You?
So this is our beginning of the year attendance data that I report out each October. So we have 3 students currently in truancy status already, 2 from the same family. And then on the right side of this chart are, all of them are below in math and 2 out of the 3 are below in reading. So just to kind of show you the impact. Nobody currently paused in truancy, so we haven't started one and then unstarted them. Well, the third one that's truant, we did, I believe, just get a form in today that their absences were related to a moose hunt or something, so that one will be changed once I get that paperwork. Truancy warnings, we sent out 5 additional, and those are related to kids who have 3 or 6 unexcused absences. And then again, 80% of those are below in math, 100% are below in reading. And then chronic absenteeism, so that's 31 kids. So at this point in the school year, that's 5 or more days, and that includes both excused or unexcused. So if they went on a 5-day moose hunt, they fall in this category, unfortunately, because of where we are in the school year. And then 71% in both categories are below in that chronic absenteeism category. So we look at discipline behavior data a little bit, and you see on the left last year's at the beginning of the year to where we are in October, and to the right this year's. Pretty consistent data overall. We have a few like 4 or less students maybe than last year. And so it might impact that a little bit, but right now we have 87% or 276 of our students have not had a single office referral, which is pretty awesome. Then another 19 have only had 1, another 12 have only had 2. So you add those all up and you're at 97% have had 2 or fewer office referrals. And then when you look at the red section, more than 7 is what Swiss, and that's in the course of the year. That's what Swiss would consider pretty, so you need to do something like, you need to make sure you get a plan. And we usually already have a plan with these kids, but it usually means adjusting those plans. So last year, we had several students in that, and this year we have 2. So we certainly have some challenges. We have the kindergarten class, and it seems interesting because I talked to other principals, and the kindergarten group across the state seems to be the group this year. And so they've come in with some challenges, but we knew about several of them ahead of time, and we were prepared for them. And our special ed program has done a great job with several of those new kiddos in there. So, all right, the next chart is, so this shows you by grade. The one on the left is this year, the one is last year, and you can kind of see it makes sense because last year's 3rd grade, if you look at the one on the right, they're now 4th graders.
Yeah.
It's almost identical as far as their bubble goes. You can see last year's kindergarten has settled down a little bit this year in 1st grade, which is what we like to see. They're maturing and beginning to understand the rules. And that's tough because 1st grade is a big grade. We have 19 kids in each of those 1st grade classrooms. So they're busting at the seams in those rooms. And it's good that a lot of those kids have kind of settled into school. So here you see these numbers represent students, and the 2 at the end are the most referred. Those are the ones that were above that 7 mark that I showed you on the other chart. They account for 36% of all the referrals. So you take their data out, and our data is even better. Really good. So obviously we're working with both of those students. One is new, one's been with us. We're working with them to create hopefully some plans of attack to support them and help them get settled in here. So we had our workshop day. This was our agenda. So most of you know, or if you've been around the school since COVID, our school has kind of been involved in a ton of stuff. involving 2 new assessment things that we've implemented, a new intervention program, new reading program. We're starting to try to figure out a new math program. So we've been for 4 or 5 years now, really kind of hitting it hard in a lot of areas. So my commitment to my staff this year is that I wouldn't throw anything new at them, and that we would kind of hopefully get some time on our laws and our workshop time to focus on some things that we have been trying to do and get better at the things we're already doing. So that was kind of the focus. United Way was in the morning. Then I did a session on differentiation, because that's a topic that's come up a little bit in discussions with different people, and about how we differentiate with our new reading program. How do we do this? And it was a good discussion. We continued it on. I've had a follow-up session at a law or a staff meeting that I did with staff, and really just focusing on the idea that differentiation is not a minute by minute thing. That's impossible, but it is kind of looking through your week and through the course of a month and making sure that every kid in your room has opportunities to learn at their level and have opportunities to engage in what you're doing in class. So that was kind of my focus in the morning. We did a wellness session. I haven't done this a lot, but the staff asked for it. So on the next page, you'll see some pictures of that, but we did some different opportunities for them to get together as a staff and just go hiking or do different things, do an art class with Miss Thayer. Then we had 2 chunks of time during the day where they were meeting with their teams to work on these things that we had talked about. Had a food truck there, which was great, and we ended our day. If you hadn't finished their mandatory training, that's what they had to do, because there was a lot of mandatory training this year. So most of them got it done at that time. Pam's hunting down the others, so each day. So this is us. This is doing different things. Group went hiking. There was a crochet group. There was the painting group, which was the big group in the top right. And there was a group that was, they called it the chat and chill, but they were meeting together to discuss random various topics that they wanted to discuss. So it was a good day. It was productive, but also it wasn't our normal, like, we're going 100 miles an hour. And so the staff really appreciated being able to breathe a little bit during a workshop session and also still get some work done. So we had Fire Safety Day on October 14th. I want to give a shout out to all the local firefighters for what they do, and also for coming to the school. They spend about 15 minutes in the classroom talking to kids, and then they go out and see the trucks, and sometimes they get to see some of their teachers climb the ladder and do all kinds of fun stuff with the fire truck. So just a big shout out to them. It was great having them on the campus, and my hope is that they're going to come back. They said they're going to come back and do a random fire drill. So that's going to happen right during lunch or something. So that'll be lots of fun. So. All right, this is what's gone on at DES so far. We've had a ton going on. 5th grade's gone on a couple trips already. They did their hiking trip. They did their Gulf of Maine Research Institute trip. Grade 2 right now is doing their visits to the Dixfield Library, which is exciting because they get their library card, and that seems like you'd be like, that's a small deal, but having a card with your name on it in 2nd grade, that's big time, big time. And it was cool the other day. A class had just come back, and a couple of the kids were being picked up by their parents and like, can we go to the library? Can we go to the library? So it was really, really motivating for them. Special Ed's taking their first swimming trip. Grade 3 last week had a zoo presentation, which is really neat. We've had our PTO, Lions Club's been in doing screening. We've done assessments, picture day, fire safety. I mentioned we had our first fantastic assembly. So a lot going on here in the first couple months. And finally, coming up tomorrow night is our Halloween dance. You are all welcome to attend. Natalie, I know you're gonna miss it this year.
I have a year off.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't have to go.
I'll see you again next year probably, so actually, it has to go do that.
Some of them do. We don't kick them out.
I release it one year.
You can tell them that they're not invited if you.
I might do that.
What time is that?
5:30 to 6:30. Yeah, so we always partner it up with Region 9 does their Halloween walkthrough. So the kids don't have to get dressed up twice. So theirs is from 4 to 5:30, and then ours is 5:30 to 6:30. And then parent teacher conferences are next week, which is a little early for us. That's also next week is our fall book fair. November 10th is our Veterans Assembly and Veterans Breakfast. Region 9 is partnering with us on that, is providing breakfast to the veterans. We have picture retake on the 14th, and then we've set the date for our holiday concerts. It's December 4th, we're doing it one night at the high school versus
Oh,
3
instead of
nights.
2 nights.
Yeah, and so we're gonna do a 5 to 5:45 for K2, and then a 6:15 to 7 for the 3 to 5 group. Just hoping to have a little more room and a little more parking, all those other things that we struggle with every year when we do best, so. I think that's it.
Question.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Probably, we did differentiation, training that he did with his staff, I happened to sit for that, and I pushed him a little to sign up to do the Western Maine Education Run in March 20th, because I had a great talk to other teachers around the Western Maine students. And we do have quite a number of staff members who have signed up to presentation along with it, I'm super impressed. A lot of them got, you know, sort of from me, all the things, they went every day. And I know that it's still looking for us.
Oh, okay,
But she's trying.
all right. Go ahead.
What do you know about that?
Yeah, moving it up.
We have in the past, once we have one, so typically once a student rep is on, we ask somebody, do you want to do the whole board? And someone's gonna come. And then some of them are like, I prefer not to leave at the beginning. And so this depends on who we end up getting.
You're pretty boring.
All right, committee report, policy, we had some policies, we still have a couple. Special ed audit wanted, they had, what was it, 10 years or 7 years? 7 years, so we gotta keep records, but the state says 5 years, so. Mary said, we're gonna do 7 and it's a lot, we gotta get on that. And there's a few other new ones, temperature control.
Yeah, we have to have a policy.
Yeah, and that's a new policy, MSMA, that if it's too hot in your classrooms.
We have to have a call.
So.
Is
it's a
it
new
required?
statute,
Yes,
the
statute law.
temperature Policy, however, they're not telling us what the temperature has to be, their range, and they're not telling you what the mitigation strategies are. So like the sample one that I saw says, open your windows, or pull your shades if it's sunny, put fans in your classrooms, like it seems like an effort, ooh.
But child, like we have to know, we have to kill it.
But anyway, we will be bringing one forward. We're hoping, as the superintendent's group in Western Maine, we talked about like, let's build one together so that we're all consistent. We say they across our 17 districts, so stay tuned. We're gonna bring one to Barbara.
Okay, instead of, cause I got MSMA's and then they sent, which we already have on our cell phone. They have a new cell phone. See. So once I got the thing brought up. Finance,
Yeah, so the off season, I think there's a meeting scheduled.
I don't have the meeting date yet.
Yeah, so it's
The auditor was there yesterday, so they're getting close and ready for us to meet.
my password is frigged up again, I typed in. It's called, now, I did it this weekend, but I wanna get some information on the email and, can I speak now?
you go for it.
I can.
Yeah.
So is this the new basketball coach, is he a teacher in our school?
Oh,
Everyone else basketball now. I was just wondering if, cause if you're a teacher, you apply, you automatically get.
That is not true.
That is not,
they get best king.
I don't know, I thought Kelsey, like, she did a great job, and I was involved in basketball for years, and I've seen the way the kids' faces go on the ground, I just wondered. I was trying to get, I looked up the other guy, I guess he has a lot of experience. St. John's, they have. Who's on that committee that hires?
So there's always the athletic activity
Yeah.
director, there's always a board member, and then there's a couple other people. And I'm trying to not like meeting the other people, because
Gotcha.
they've already been approached by people,
Yeah.
and so I'm trying to keep them, but, you know, Natalie raised her hand, I was the board member for years.
No, I respect your decision on it, just, I see there's people here, I should have done it during board member comments. Once again, technology is.
Why is yours keep doing that?
I have no idea. I typed that thing in 50 times. I don't know if that's
Probably
what-
why.
Because they want you to double check.
Yeah, but I take it right. out for-
Get it cold, and then you gotta put the cold
I think
in.
it's because I'm in this code. Anyway, I think we're kind of for it. But I respect the decision.
Okay. Curriculum cancel.
Yes, we got canceled because Jason's traveling back from Boston, I think tonight, so we want to cut close.
Yeah.
Cancel it, but we're working, to give you an idea, we're working on science. Textbook, I believe, is something we're looking at, and some other data he wants to talk to us about. Then, I hope he reads the minutes, we're gonna load a ton of stuff on, like, with the atlas, what else do we want? So, that's what we're.
Building and grounds, they have one, we don't officially have a chair.
I think we may end up changing that time.
Okay,
Have a bid opening at 1, but Bruce is always working on that, he can't come at 1 for, BGT committee, so stay tuned, I will email the BGT committee.
and that is you too, Liz.
Are you gonna come anytime, Liz?
I can come, yeah,
Person?
just don't have. Anytime you set it up.
I'll get that out to you.
Negotiations, we do. You thought this was. Personnel,
So there is not a bargaining unit that one?
she said the, ASME is up 1 more year, so we're on set.
I was confused because they requested all of the information, but
Doesn't hurt my feelings, that's fine.
it's not until next year. So it didn't remind me of the.
Yes.
Yeah.
Natalie, personnel.
Meeting tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 at the central office.
Ad hoc committee, we still chair. I forgot, I couldn't, people scheduled it on a cake day.
Yeah. I don't, is there an update? I think I would make the last meeting, so it was, cool.
That was Josh mentioned, that wasn't it.
Okay, is that the one?
They had one, but I don't think many people go. We'll ask,
Prevention, and probably would have.
yes, that's,
Yes, I do. So we did meet October 20th and we invited Dan, Constable High School. He came and he shared what they're doing to impact their capacity and truancy rates at that school. So he shared that they have a truancy, they gave a teacher a free period each day and they use that as the attendance coordinator. And so they do it, if somebody's has hit the number of days absent, that attendance coordinator writes out the sheet, gives it to the home room teacher, who then makes a phone call home, gets information from kind of the attendance group. I think this, when they have another stop point, if they miss that few days, and they have to come in for a meeting, if they have it all like laid out on what they're doing, and he says, nothing like you, it's just somebody who's responsible for it and a consistent steps each time it happens. So we did take their information and I have it into RSU 56 documents and put it in our procedure folder for admin right now. So next drop off potential committee meeting, I'll go over that with the community. This is what we want to do. Was this also because I know that they was from 48%, I think we shared 48% chronic absence, she goes from 100 down to 36 the next year, so it made a significant impact, so we just want to, now their goal is to get it down to 20-something%, so we might as well anyway, and think I get some people when they're working, so.
and I did get one coupon at the booster booth. So maybe November 7th, the playoff football. Get more.
Do we have that done?
We ended up on the end of my 2 weeks, but it took a while for them to come in, I don't think I would have been pretty different. The week they came, I got them out, and so we're doing every 2 weeks, so when we do payroll, then he runs the staff ones, and then that's when the total is gave it a piece, whatever he's, I'll be giving out the coupon for not missing any time. Like, I'm not gonna get one next time because the doctor was actually, that takes me out of the running, so we're being very tight with it, because we're doing it every 2 weeks. So it's not like you can have an excuse that and just.
Is the board included in that?
Well, I can't tell if you show up for work every day, Bruce, so I.
No, I
can't
meant
give
the
you-
board meeting.
For board meeting, probably give you that.
Oh, wait a minute, on the next page, it says technology committee, Brian.
Soon. Soon, I don't have a date yet.
Soon, that's all.
Soon.
Yeah, that's it, so.
I know it's, so, we have no executive session, could I get a motion? All in favor? Good night. Oh, you gotta get dates.
But I need
I
a
won't be
date,
here.
he said I need to be. I won't be here, I'm gonna be.
What day is this?
Next week, so we're figuring it out now.
Brian, my password's going again.
Okay.
I
I
know I
emailed him, he goes, that means.
I don't think